It's a new year, and you know what that means. Another exciting episode of the Novice Podcast. Well, today's episode is about paid advertising, ROI, and lots more. If you don't know anything about this is the show for you. You need to pay attention to the conversations that's going to be happening right now. So, I still remain your host, Tolu, and I'm not alone in the studio. I'm with an expert. His name is Kenneth Nwangwu, and he's a seasoned digital marketing expert at Providus Bank. In fact, he's going to be the one to give you his introduction. So welcome, Mr. Kenneth.
Thank you very much.
Could you just give us a little bit of introduction?
Okay, so my name is Kenneth Nwangwu. Right now, I'm a brand and corporate communications executive with Providus Bank.
Okay.
I have over 10 years experience in digital marketing, brand management, communication, external relations, research.
Only you?
Yes.
Oh, wow. You're the guy for today's show.
Yeah.
So I'll just, go straight into the conversation about paid advertising rather. So what exactly is paid advertising for my audience to understand?
Okay, so paid advertising is when you put money to boost your content or your campaign online or offline. But I'm guessing in this conversation we're dwelling more on online. Yes. Yeah. So that's when you put money behind your content. So for instance, if you just post a picture as a business, a picture of your product, if you just post it like that, it's only your organic kind of audience that will be able to view it. But if you then add some money to it and boost the post, you're then opening up your product to a wider audience. Wider audience means more people looking at your brand, more brand awareness, and more possible customers. So yes. And
also return of investment, right?
Of course.
Yeah, it's very important to state that.
Yes.
So, people, business owners, executives like yourself view this paid advertising as another marketing cost. We're looking for how we can make money. So how should we, from your experience, how should business owners view and see paid advertising?
Okay, so if you're going to sell online, if you're going to make the decision at all to have your products online, you might as well make the best of it. You might as well maximize the potential of that product being online, because there's one thing that's going on now. There's so much competition. Before you even post your product, another company has posted their product, possibly the same product. There's a lot of competition there. And the thing about these platforms is that their algorithms are built to support brands and companies that pay. So if Facebook sees two brands, they are both selling the same type of sneakers or shoes, the one that Facebook is really going to put in the face of the customers is the one that is even spending, even if it's just $1. So Facebook is going to prioritize your content in their algorithm, because that's how they make their own money. So yes. So if you want to succeed, if you want to beat the competition, you have to use paid marketing. So it's not a cost in the long run. Yes.
Okay. So most times when people talk about paid advertising, it has to align with your brand. People can actually they can run this campaign by themselves, right? You don't necessarily need a marketing team to do that for you. I think you can run that yourself for a small business owner. So how can what are the things they need to know to align some of this paid advertising with their brand's identity?
Okay, so as you said, you can run it on your own now, which is one of the best things that these platforms did. They made it very easy for anyone to you can set up your page today, and literally if your payment system, let me plug in Providus Bank in this segment, this particular point, because we do have a Platinum MasterCard that enables such payments. But if your payment system works, you can immediately start boosting it. They've made their platforms very easy. Different platforms have different levels of difficulty. The Google platform, the Google AdWords platform is much more complicated than the Facebook or Instagram platform.
The social media.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
But LinkedIn is even more complicated than the rest, and they all have different deliverables. But I mean, on the whole, they have a lot of supports, and they have a lot of like guides. So when you say your brand identity, I mean, the good thing about it is you're fully in control, but sometimes some companies, depending on the size of the company, they might want to get marketing teams involved. Sometimes they don't handle their advertising in-house. They might take it out, maybe because they don't have the expertise, but there should be a lot of alignment. So if you're the brand manager and you're going to be needing the services of an advertising company, you obviously tell them, okay, this is what we want.
You set what we're trying to achieve.
Yes, that's usually the first step. So you have to set clear objectives before you then even choose, okay, well, this is the target market, this is the budget that we're putting. So there's a lot of strategy that goes into it before you start rolling out, depending on how successful you want it to be.
That's a lot of strategy has to be put in place before you just run into paying of ads and the like, advertising and the likes. Okay, so we're in cutting edge technologies whereby the use of artificial intelligence and the like. What are some tools? Okay, some tools that can help this small business owners or big business owners make smarter investments, smarter decisions when it comes to paid advertising.
Okay, so like you said artificial intelligence. I mean, most of these companies, they've already integrated it into their platforms. So for instance, there's a lot of suggestions. So for instance, if you're selling maybe kitchenware or should I say maybe hospitality, things like that. So when you go into the Google AdWords dashboard, they can suggest keywords for you. For example, you don't just say, selling kitchenware. It can, because that's not what people are really searching for. That's not the exact way they search it for. So they search for it. So Google kind of gives you suggestions on the keywords that people might be using, the keywords that people are not using, the price that will be the best for you to bid for your for those keywords, because that's another thing. There's a lot of competition. So for instance, in the banking space, I know that if you go online, before 5 minutes or 10 minutes, you probably see one of the bank's ads. Yes. So what that AI does for you is it kind of gives you the opportunity to stand out, because it tells you, okay, these are the keywords that are ranking the highest, but they have this particular price. These are the ones that are not ranking so much, but they are this particular price. So you then know, okay, you know what, there's a certain segment of people. For instance, if you take private banking, for instance, not everyone is searching for private banking the way people will be searching for maybe mobile app. I'm sure if you're searching for mobile app, it's going to be a lot more people from different segments and different demographics. So, but if you're looking for private banking, the AI then tells you, okay, these are the words that people are using. Then you then make a decision. So it's kind of like a co-pilot. It's like a partnership. So those platforms already have it. So because you asked what tools, so those platforms already have those AI integrated. Yes.
Like the search engine, the SEOs and the likes, they're all already integrated into the platform, right?
Yes. So Google AdWords already has AI suggestions. Facebook, Instagram Insights, LinkedIn, they already have those AI integrated in it. Yes.
Having said that, so what are the common mistakes some of these small business owners and business owners in general make, and how can they avoid these mistakes?
Okay, so like we said before, the strategy side of things. So sometimes some business owners, they don't really strategize. They haven't really created kind of the buyer persona. They don't really know, okay, who is my exact buyer? So when they try to run their paid marketing, they just serve it to the whole Instagram. So for instance, if you're selling maybe luxury cars, there's a specific socioeconomic class of people that might be interested in those things. And the good thing about those systems is that they've already made buyer personas. The system already knows people that are interested in, because of their search history. So for instance, if someone has been searching Mercedes-Benz for the last 3 weeks, and he goes on Instagram, and he just starts scrolling,
Yeah.
and he sees a Mercedes Benz
Yeah.
from your company, he's more willing to click on it because it's relevant. So some of the mistakes small businesses might make is they don't target their relevant audience. So they're just throwing in nets that might not be targeted to the exact audience that will be that would want to take the action, and so they're just spending a lot of money. Another thing is that algorithms can also change. Algorithms can also change. You might have set your ads to a specific algorithm, and if you're not monitoring it, the algorithm might have changed, and you're wondering, why are my ads no longer delivering? But there might be maybe Google is now favoring people who use videos more, or people who kind of like use a specific way of their creatives.
Their content.
Yes. So you always have to be monitoring. It's not just you do the ad and leave it. You have to always be monitoring. You have to make sure that it's relevant. And you also have to not be too relevant. You also have to have some sort of organic content also going. Because if you only rely on
because
paid,
I'm like, I know companies that they just work with organic content and they are doing well as well. So should they still incorporate the paid advertising to it to see a significant boost in their company as well?
Yes, of course. So for instance, if you're a company like Adidas or Nike, sometimes you have big campaigns, right? Or you see Puma has the campaigns where they use Davido and you see it all over social media. But if you go on their page, you will still see some other content that they didn't sponsor. And how do you know the difference? You see the one with Davido, there's 100, maybe 10,000 comments, but you see the normal one, there's maybe just 100 comments. So there should be a perfect balance so that if someone goes to your page, they don't just only see what you're putting dollars on, they kind of see other things, and they can now have a more well-rounded picture of what your brand is.
So influencer marketing, can you say they work hand in hand with paid advertising?
Yes, actually, influencer marketing is like an evolution of paid advertising, because another thing, one of the problems with paid advertising is actually ad fatigue. You might see a brand's ad all the time and you're like, I am tired. And you start to like switch it off. Even sometimes on YouTube will ask you, is the ad relevant to you?
Yes.
Then you now have to make the decision.
Survey,
Yes. They usually survey almost after every ad just to know if they should keep serving those kind of ads to you or if they should move to the next ad. So yes.
Ooh. But we've not touched on the return of investments, and that is very important. So when a company, puts in the strategy, puts in the money to run a particular campaign, so how do they generate this income back?
Okay, so with return on investment, there's different metrics. Okay, so first of all, how you calculate return on investment. So let's say your profit is ₦1 million and you spent 500,000 naira. So it's your profit minus your cost of your ad over cost of your ad times 100%. So let's say it's 1 million naira you spent and the cost of the ad was 500,000 divided by 500,000 times 100. So that means you have 100%. So that means for every $1 you put in, you made $1 back. So, but there's different metrics with regards to ROI. Sometimes you have to decide what's important to the brand. Sometimes it's leads. That's like phone numbers and emails of people that they can keep within their ecosystem, because depending on how expensive, or some products are not really products that you just see that day and you just
want to
buy it immediately. I mean, if you see sometimes on Instagram, you can see private jets on you can see there. You can actually, those are the things that you actually see people sponsor.
Those are what's on your algorithm, right?
But I mean, Nigeria, we're very aspirational. So because of the sort of content that we do look at, I'm sure sometimes you'll be scrolling on or you see a very nice designer bag. Sometimes it's not just immediately you see it that you buy it.
Yes.
Sometimes you can even check their website. Sometimes you can even put yourself on their mailing list. So ROI depends on, sometimes you have to decide what ROI means to you. Sometimes it can be pure figure. Sometimes it can be brand awareness. You can say, okay, you know what, I'm spending 1 million naira on this particular advertising campaign because I want my page to have 10,000 followers extra. Even if all those 10,000 people don't buy now, but at least they now know what my brand is.
They're part of our community.
Yes, they're now part of my community, and at some point they will then buy. I mean, sometimes you have maybe like now 30 December that just finished, you have like a party that is going to be going on in December, and you've already started building up the buzz by September. So ROI can also be kind of like the customer lifetime value. You know, what's the value of the customer? Someone that has already seen your ad in September for an event that is in December might have already started spreading the word about your brand. Oh, do you know that this party is going to be going on? Do you know that these artists are going to be there? Before they finally now buy the tickets in December. So it depends on what ROI means to you. I mean, most times we talk about it in financial. Yes, and it is still financial, but it's not everything that has to be that present moment. Someone can have awareness of your brand and maybe pay next year, but at least you've already
gathered the intel. Because you mentioned something like the emails and some other things that they must have gathered that can help them still build on that, right?
Yes, of course. Having a lead is a very, very important thing because that's a high quality lead, especially someone that has put their details. So for instance, if you have a product, someone actually left Instagram, went to your website, put their name, their details.
What shows they're interested.
Yes, they might not have the money at that point, or they might not be ready to, or it might be a seasonal product, but at least they've shown interest. So yes, ROI can be measured in different ways. It can be measured from lead generation. It can be measured from pure sales. Yes.
Whew. So before we wrap up, we have a game that we usually do called the Novice Dip. But I would like you to just give the audience like words of encouragement. You know, what should they look out for when it comes to paid advertising? You know, just tell them things they should look out for and not just see it as a marketing cost, basically.
So the great thing about paid advertising is that it has leveled the playing field. And the great thing about social media advertising or online advertising is the ease of access. I mean, if you wanted to advertise your business before, you would go to a newspaper and you just don't know how, first of all, the cost. They have a specific amount that you have to pay. Second of all, you don't even have any analytics. You don't know how many people read the page where your ad is. So the good thing about online advertising is kind of this democracy. It allows you from your home to put any amount you want. It also allows you to be able to check your analytics to know, okay, people in this particular area of Nigeria or area of Lagos State are the ones that are interacting with my ad. This demographic, okay, women like my ad more than men. So that means maybe I should be creating content more for women. So it gives you kind of a first-hand feedback, and it empowers you. So I think that if you've not started, I really think you should get started. It doesn't really take a lot of money to start making an impact. If you're building your own personal brand as an influencer, I think that's the best way for you to kind of leapfrog the competition and get in the audience faces. And you know, as I said, the algorithms love money, so they will always put you forward.
Thank you so much, Kenneth. So before we wrap up, just have a few questions here. So you just speak, then I'll read them out for you. Okay. What's one mistake you see these businesses making with their paid advertising that makes you want to scream?
Okay, well, I would say this. If you're going to sponsor content, I think you should take advantage of making the content look as good as possible. So sometimes I do see brands sponsor content and it just looks like they use like a shabby camera to, you know, if you're going to...
They should put in the effort.
Yes, if you're going to be on my feed, at least it should look visually appealing. So I think they should. And the algorithms also help boost posts that are visually appealing. So, yeah.
So you have two more.
Okay, that's okay. Sorry.
Okay. What's the craziest return of investment you've ever achieved or heard of that didn't involve a risky strategy?
Okay.
Should I take it again?
Okay, say that again.
What's the craziest return of investment you've ever achieved or heard of?
Okay, so I would have to say, because I don't want to go into personal like finance things, but I will say when I was working with Heineken, so we were promoting Burna Boy's. So Star was one of the portfolios I was handling. So we were promoting Burna Boy's concerts, and I think we probably spent like maybe $500, but we could directly correlate it to about 1,000 tickets that were bought, because we had a unique kind of code system going. So we could directly correlate our digital marketing activities to about 1,000 tickets bought at that point. And so that was a very, very high
return of investment.
Yes.
So the last one before we end the show. We've fixed this before. I'll just help you fix something. If you could only use one social media platform for paid advertising, that is Facebook, Google, TikTok, and the likes, for the rest of your life, which would it be and why?
If I could only use one, I would use Instagram. Instagram is part of that.
Yeah.
Right? Was LinkedIn part of that?
No.
Okay, Instagram. I'll use Instagram because Instagram is like a bit of everything put together. And Instagram gives you there's a certain, I would say, level of intentionality that is on Instagram that is not on Facebook. I think Facebook is way more relaxed. So people on Instagram tend to have a higher sense of urgency if they're doing things, and there's more. If you see a business sponsoring a post on Instagram, you're more likely to click on it than if you see it on Facebook. For some reason, Facebook has a reputation of not being as serious. So if you see, it's very rare people, there's kind of like too much going on Facebook. So I like the fact that Instagram combines a bit of business, a bit of luxury, a bit of travel, fun, entertainment.
The combination.
Yes. So anything you're selling, it's a very, very nice place to plug it in.
Thank you so much, Kenneth. And this has been a very insightful episode. I've been able to learn a lot about paid advertising and how I can put my brand out there, and I'm sure you would have learned a lot as well. So guys, don't just see paid advertising as another marketing expense. See it as an opportunity for you and your brand to thrive and also generate revenue. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comment section, and don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. Till then, bye.